right, welcome everybody to Dave Cooper Live, where we bring you the industry leaders together with the people, the products, and the processes to help us all build it better. And today is no different. It is with great pleasure that I introduce this visionary leader whose accomplishments in the realm of digital transformation have reshaped the landscape of construction. With over 2 decades of experience as a trailblazer in innovation strategy, our guest has consistently pushed the boundaries of what's possible, aiming to enhance both the processes and experiences within our built environment. Recognized as a BIM hero, a maverick technologist, chosen as one of the winners of the Women Are Changing the Face of Construction Award for advancing digital transformation of the built environment industry, and recipient of the Exceptional Women in Building Award from the National Institute of Building Sciences, a building lifecycle digitalization expert, an innovation catalyst, and a newly minted entrepreneur. Salar Eckhart will be joining us right after a few words from our sponsors. Stream Modular, the only logistics company you need to transport your mods, pods, and panels. Our friends at Stream Modular are investing $50 million over the next 25 years to build the technology, solutions, and trailers needed to handle and transport the projects of today and meet the demands of tomorrow. Reach out to their team at StreamModular.com to discuss your next project. CombiLift is the largest global manufacturer of multi-directional forklifts and straddle carriers, a leader in long load handling solutions, offering a free warehouse and site optimization design service. CombiLift helps companies of all sizes and from every industry maximize the capacity, safety, and efficiency of their warehouse and storage facilities. A big thank you to Paul Short and the team at CombiLift for helping us all to build it better. Visit them at combilift.com. Brave Control Solutions, where offsite manufacturing systems that do more than just improve productivity. They have a unique approach to industrialized construction, a lineup of flexible automation systems specifically designed for the construction industry, empowered by CAD to Fab, and turnkey solutions for 3D volumetric assembly, structural insulated panels, finished wall assemblies, MEP component processing, assembly, kitting, and storage. Learn more at thinkbrave.com. All right. Again, a big thank you to all of our sponsors. We cannot bring you all these innovative conversations without them. So, man, what an opening monologue. So without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce Salar. Salar, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Thank you so much, Dave. It is a pleasure and an honor to be on your Dave Cooper Live show today.
Well, it's a pleasure and an honor to have you on the Dave Cooper Live show. I mean, with a resume like that, and I only went over a couple of the awards and accolades that you have. So congratulations to all of your success, and super excited to hear about your new entrepreneurship and ventures you're on as well. But First, we want to know everything about you from the moment you were born to this very moment in time, Salar. Don't leave out any of the good stuff from the hospital, or we will have your mother on the show, and she will embarrass you. I already know that, but you only have about 2 minutes to do it. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Dave. So I grew up in Finland, and I was part of a family of 6. So my parents were Finnish, and my siblings are Finnish. My mom was an entrepreneur. My dad was a fighter pilot. And I grew up in the very rural part of Finland, in the southeastern part of Finland, in a very small town in the middle of the woods. And that was probably the reason why I became an entrepreneur mindset innovator, that there were so many different things that inspired me and got me to think about things. And then I ended up doing my university studies in Finland and moving to United States, becoming an American after 2015. And now we are here. And I'm excited to be on the show to launch my new entrepreneurship and talk about innovation in the construction industry.
I love it. I love it. So you've been here since 2015. Did your whole family come over?
No, it was just me and my two cats that some people have seen on the video when I still have them.
Yeah.
But it was just me starting my American dream, and it has truly been that.
That's awesome. Well, as they say, welcome to America. Glad to have you. We love people that are bringing new ideas and innovation. It has become a global conversation, especially with social media and live shows like this one. So the more people like yourself we have, the further, the faster we're going to go. Let's get into this a little bit and what your background and so forth, is going to lead me to a lot of these questions I have. And the first question is, can you elaborate on your approach to digital transformation and how it specifically benefits the operations and processes within the organizations that you have worked for?
Oh, thank you. It's one of my favorite topics, Dave. So, my approach to digital transformation is that it is human centric. We work in the AECO industry. It is human centric. It's about partnerships. It's about people that are managing the processes. And that's what digital transformation is about: business processes and business models that people are managing, and then applying the right tools that enable people to succeed in what they want to achieve. And that way, the approach is thinking about the outcomes that we want to achieve in long term and making sure that people can create the outputs that are needed.
So how do you actually capture the data that people are already using when you go into these companies to actually transform them and improve those processes?
Good question. It really varies on how the businesses are run. Some people are still using analog processes and analog tools. They enjoy doing it hands on themselves. Others are more digitally mature and have already digitized their processes and opted to cloud platforms and databases, common data environments, etc. It really depends on what the needs are, and that way it's not a one solution for all. It's more tailored and it's more simplified and it's more streamlined. So anything that the end users need, uh, it can be done. Technology is ready. It's more about the mindset.
Yeah, and right, and it is a mindset shift, especially in the construction industry, right? Just because we're so used to hearing, well, this is how we've always done it, or we've tried it in the past, right? And that's kind of, getting thrown out the window now with people like yourself coming in and the younger generation really coming in, and then people outside of our industry coming in and saying, no, 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 no. You just have a different widget. We've been using this in the business world for a long time, data that is, but what you have done is you have pioneered the digital building lifecycle framework. And this is what has me curious, So, how has this framework revolutionized data management and how has it contributed to the advancements, in smart environments?
Well, thank you, Dave, for asking about that. So I innovated the digital building lifecycle to really help strategize for decades to come when real estate portfolio owners and managers are thinking about what they might do with their investments. So there were a lot of financial questions about what is the ROI, how to manage capex expenses, how to prepare for operational expenses. So digital building lifecycle was born out of the necessity that there are so many different stakeholders involved in the technical lifecycle of a building, needing data and needing information and accumulating knowledge as organizational wisdom. That I used all the expertise and experience that I've accumulated over the past 25 years to create something that could be the foundational strategy for moving forward with digital transformation, making it as simple and easy for people to manage as possible.
It gives me some thoughts on, as this is a good break point to say, who's the customer? Is it real estate, folks? Is it construction folks? Like, so when you're out there and, somebody's watching this, who would you say needs to be talking to you?
I would say that it's everyone. Everyone in the industry is connected now through cloud platforms and digital platforms, common data environments, and the digital tools that we're using. Everyone is working on the same project that they are participating in as a project team, regardless of what their own discipline is or what their point of view is. into the project. So depending on what you're working on, what your focus is, you're still not working in a silo, working for yourself. You're working for the benefit of your project team and to create the outcomes and the outputs that the investor wants to gain benefits from. So regardless of who is in need of help with digital transformation, I'm here to help out. I've worked with every sector of the industry, and every sector has a very unique point of view into what needs to be digitized, how to digitalize processes, how to digitally transform the business models and the organizations. So it's for everyone, and it is for the common benefit.
I love that. The common benefit. And how do we use data to improve our processes, improve our environment, improve sustainability, like all of these things, now has a workflow that you've helped, revolutionize for our industry so people can truly see what they're doing and how they're doing it and improve. So I love it. Let's talk about some of the places you've been and some of the things you've done, right? So you worked at OAC Services and you had work at Microsoft that's led to significant milestones, including the development of sustainability and advanced project control strategies. So can you discuss some of the challenges you faced, when you were trying to implement those strategies? And then also what were the outcomes? Because these are two big companies. Let's talk about that. I mean, this is a big undertaking. So yeah, I'm curious myself.
Yeah. It's I see everything as an opportunity to improve, whether it is something small or if it's something that is very transformational and big. But overall, since we are in a human-centric, people-centric industry, it is about people's needs, but also about people's wants. And even if someone has a need, it doesn't necessarily guarantee that they have a want for the change that is being delivered or offered for them. So overall, people are doing the best that they can. But if the processes that they are managing are already antiquated and not digital ready or are not digitally transformed, applying new technologies on top of analog processes only highlights all the inefficiencies and problems with the old processes and the old tools. So that's what I saw and I have seen in every organization that I've worked with and helped, that the processes are key for applying new digital tools and technologies into leveling up, improving business processes or creating new services and products for end users and clients. But it's a big undertaking to really redefine processes, and that's my core expertise. That whatever is the most complicated thing, I find ways to simplify them, and that way help people be successful in what they are aiming to do. But then people that are already busy with their daily operations, they don't necessarily have the time to start focusing on what needs to improve. They are busy running their business.
Yeah, for sure. And so the some of the key challenges sounds like, how far into the Stone Ages some companies still are versus where they are today with collecting their own data. Is that what I'm hearing? Analog data. Is that what you called it? The analog? Like analog
analog
cell phones?
analog processes, and it's very natural that some companies have existed for decades or even hundreds
Yeah.
of years, and if their business model has been pretty much the same always, then there might not be the foundational readiness for thinking digitally and moving into more agile processes. But that's why I'm here to help. That no hope is lost. There is no need to restart or reset completely. Things
Right.
can be done very agile and very human centric.
Can you give me an example of a construction company or a data company that you went in, and you were tasked with, figuring out where the issues are and then putting these strategies in place? Can you kind of walk us through a scenario and what the outcome ended up being for that customer? And you don't have to use the customer's name.
Yeah, is I've been kind of an entrepreneur in every organization that I've worked for. That I've been kind of presented a program or a project to lead, and then I start seeing where there's room for improvement. And overall, it has led to innovating the digital building life cycle or innovating extended reality programs and bringing headsets to field operations. It has led into like 30% increase in productivity when logistics departments have not been the roadblock anymore. So overall, what has been kind of the core for everything that I've done is in the processes development. That technology as itself doesn't solve problems, but when processes are streamlined and simplified, that's when we start seeing improvements. And there are a lot of stories.
Yeah, I bet there is. So and as I try to understand this, because I am not a data guy. You put a spreadsheet in front of me, I roll over like a possum and freeze. It's just not what I do. But I would imagine it's very quantifiable. So if you're actually collecting data, because facts don't lie, and data is facts, it's very quantifiable to see the process and the progress that a company or an organization achieves out of what you're implementing, because it's all fact-based. There's no gray area. Is that accurate?
That is very accurate. And overall, the quality of data is now improving, that people have better understanding of what needs to be done and how to do things, so that they
Mhm.
don't have to be inputting data into files and folders, but they can actually manage data and information and really focus on the partnerships and engaging others in discussions of what outcomes and what outputs are we aiming to achieve. And that's where all the excitement comes from, that rather than being overwhelmed with inputting data into spreadsheets, people can actually consume the information together with, for example, virtual reality. And that way, they don't have to be a data analyst. They just have to step into the virtual world and point at things and ask questions.
I
And that's
love
what
it.
I'm aiming to do, that things need to be ready consumable.
So you're gonna love this, Sally. Years ago, I was working with a guy. His name is Ben, right? And he had a company called Green Phosphorus, the old green computer screens, right? And he designed a system where it takes data, right? And you could go in as an avatar, and you could fly through and actually see the data in real time. And I know exactly what you're saying, because it simplified it to where it wasn't a spreadsheet and numbers. Like, you could actually see the ebb and flow of how things happen, whether it was lineal, whether it was through the years, or in this case, he was doing stuff for the NFL. You could see the NFL stats of the players and the quarterbacks, and you could really see. That's what you're saying?
Exactly. So
Love
all the
that.
data, it needs to have a context that is then comprehensible for humans. And that's what I aim for with the processes, that even though we try to automate data management and data operations with computer algorithms, we need to give context to the people that are making the final decisions. And that's where applications to smart cities and smart buildings start to bubble up, that how do we make decision making easy for people and
Right.
comprehensible, so that there are less mistakes or less wrong decisions made down the line.
Well, you really simplified this for me, because you know what? Even though you may be an executive, a CEO of a company, doesn't mean that you understand data the way data needs to be understood. Being able to simplify the data so one could actually visually see what's going on, versus having to understand the math and some mathematician and data person trying to tell you, I think that's just invaluable. I mean, that is huge. You could see exactly what's happening visually with your entire company in a snapshot.
Exactly.
When can we have you back on the show and we can do a fly through avatar? I want to be an avatar. I want to be green, by the way. Can you make me green? I want to fly through the data of something. Maybe we can do the data on all the YouTube videos we've done. That'd be cool.
Love that. Let's make it happen.
I love
I
it.
know
I
I
love
know people, I know partners that will enable us to do it.
that.
Awesome.
Well, I'm in. That would be a great demonstration. It'd be really cool to see, all the data from all of our shows over the year. So, as the world is changing, and here we are now, we're avatars, we're in the data world, in virtual reality. How do you ensure that what you're doing today and your initiatives align, kind of with the evolving needs, the trends in the industry, moving forward, and all the different, real estate domains, for instance?
Well, that's kind of what the metaverse applications kind of bring to the table. And those are very nascent still, but it's about inputting data into a consumable platform so we can forecast things and create scenarios for people to evaluate and get the trigger the emotion that people will have, and the feelings that people will have once the actual built environment is implemented. So giving people the opportunity to tinker things when things are in digital format, and giving them room to do the player one experiences when things are only in building information model format or with digital twins format if you have IoT and IoA data combined with all the other legacy data. So making things consumable for people and giving that futuristic forecasting based on data, so it's not a gut feeling or something that is based on someone's wild ideas, but really creating the forecasting and prediction. That's what I'm aiming for.
So a consumable platform would be that visual, virtual reality platform is what you're saying, where you can visually see your data. So I could come in every morning as the chief operations officer in my factory line, and I can visually see how everything looks, almost like when the doctors are looking at your heart and it goes beep, 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 right? Hopefully we don't see a flat line on the manufacturing floor, but I can visually see that and start to recognize trends from a good day to a bad day, all because I have my own gaming platform for my business.
Exactly. So
wow.
If we can forecast and use data for giving people trends, giving them idea of like, are you trending the way that you're expecting to trend, and giving reasons why they are trending a certain way, then it supports the decision making, and people can be very proactive about what they are planning to do that day to course correct. They don't have to be looking at historical data from the sake of uh, um, being archaeologists,
right?
And looking at consumption data and realizing that they were already invoiced for it. They can't change the past, but if they can see how they are trending, then they can make better decisions and be faster at the decision making and more confident.
And when you say see, you mean visually see. That's what I love about it. It's not just, a terminology in a conversation. You truly mean you can see it. I think that's super, super cool. So if somebody's watching this show, whether they're a large company, a small manufacturer, and they say, this is awesome. How do I get started? Sala, like, I'd be nervous as heck, maybe I don't want to see my data, but but on the other side of it, how does it work? And how long does it take to implement stuff like this? Or is this stuff that can be implemented fairly quick, but it grows over time?
It can be implemented very quick, and it's a never-ending process. Everything needs to be continuously improving, but it doesn't have to be an overwhelming lift. It can happen gradually. But where I would start is by defining the strategy and defining what is the final goal that the project team is aiming to achieve. Is it something that they want to improve their finances? Is it that they want to improve the technical performance, or do they want to improve the social performance of their portfolio? Whatever it is, then it's easier to start defining the data master plan and the data strategy, digitalization strategy, etc., and then start pulling from there. But it is important that the foundations are established correctly and really made clear so that people are going towards the same goals.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, garbage in, garbage out, right? That's kind of what you're saying. You got to get the right information in for it to actually work and function. I mean, if you give it bad math, it's going to do bad math.
Yes, yes. And replicating what someone else has done doesn't necessarily lead to success. It might be that you're just replicating their mistakes, or whatever fits them might be the completely wrong option for you. So it's
Yeah.
good to kind of like sit down and really put some thought into it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree. So, given your experience in the industry, and this stuff's pretty cool, and we haven't had this conversation on the show, so I'm super pumped about this. You know, you have now proven yourself all around the globe with some of the biggest companies out there. And you are in such high demand that now you said, listen, we're starting our own venture, and this is what we're going to do full time. Most of the companies you worked for was independent, I believe you were saying, anyhow. So now you're really just taking it to the next level and saying, hey, listen, we're going to roll this out and we're going to help a lot of people visually see their data.
Exactly. I see that the future of the AECO industry is more about partnerships, and really thinking about the project teams as partnerships, that the industry is no longer working in silos. It should be more about collaboration, and creating processes that are easy to align and clarity overall into what is aimed to be achieved. So it's not only about getting a building built, it is about defining what the technical life cycle of the building brings to the end users and the people that are using the built environment. And that opens up completely new innovation avenues for creating smart cities and doing cool innovations that only technology and digitalization enables us to do. So I'm here to work with everyone and anyone, small or big company. We can do it together.
So I didn't even think about that, right? You can now use this and understand the buildings that you're building, collect the data, and visually be able to see how that's working, not only on the building, but the entire city. Like you could bring all that data in and you could truly see what's happening on the energy grids or right. That's what I'm assuming you're saying here, how people are moving around, you know, in your buildings. All of this now is a data point that I can, as an avatar, virtually watch happen in real time.
Exactly. It is the leading smart cities of the world, like city of Tampere, that are already implementing metaverse experiences and digital twin experiences for citizens. That's the direction that I think is feasible for a lot of American cities and American companies too. And I have the expertise to do it. So I'm excited about what the future is bringing to all of us.
Okay. Every time you say something, you bring up something even cooler. So what haven't I not asked you? Is there anything that you want to tell the audience that I haven't brought up or that's super important for people to understand?
I think we covered like pretty much everything. And of course, like I'm happy to continue discussions after our show and answer any questions that people have and have virtual coffees or in-person coffees. There are so many innovation avenues to kind of grab onto and start carving something new that I'm just super excited about the future.
Well, and I'm super excited as well. I didn't ask, but I'm going to share your website here, right? This is your website. Lead Smart, Seabright is the company. And I know Jen was putting the ticker along the bottom there. Seabright.us is the website. So it's all right there. It's also under your name for anybody. So if anybody wants to reach out to you, go to your website and go to LinkedIn there. But your email is down at the bottom too, Salla@Seabright.us. Salla, I think this is awesome. I also think that we need to have you back on because I want to virtually fly through a building, a smart city, or, you know, maybe we can even get you into some of these manufacturers and you can show them how they can visually see their data. I think that would be super cool for anybody, especially if they're using automation and robots and everything else. They should be able to see it.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dave. This was truly an honor to be on the show and have a chat with you. And anytime that you want to bring me back on, I'll come in and share stories. I'm sure that I will have a ton of cool examples to talk about in a few months.
Yeah, well, we're super looking forward to it as well. And for anybody out there that really wants to take their business to the next level, I mean, here, we just keep bringing it on week after week, thanks to all of our supporting members that help us do this. Salla, you don't go anywhere. I'll come back to you at the end of the show here. But for the rest of you out there, make sure you say thank you to these sponsors as well, because they just helped you learn something that you wouldn't have known unless you watched it right here on Dave Cooper Live. We're going to make your businesses better, and that's what we do day in and day out with our guests. Salla, stay right there. Everybody else, have a great day. Bye now.
Thank you.
What an amazing show. Thank you to all of our sponsors for helping us to continue to bring all of these innovative conversations to all of you out there. Please visit them, see what they have to offer you. And as always, subscribe to the YouTube channel and ring that bell. It would mean the world to us. I'm Dave Cooper. Thanks for watching.